Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a massive, highly anticipated event on the horizon, the 21st Plenary Assembly of AMECEA. For those who might not know, that stands for the Association of Member Episcopal Conferences in Eastern Africa. But we aren't just looking at what is happening, we're taking a really close look at where it's happening. The Catholic University of Eastern Africa, or CUEA, has been chosen to host. And as we break down the source material today, we're going to see exactly why this specific campus is literally the perfect engine for the Assembly's mission. I mean, think about it. When you're bringing together leaders from across an entire region to discuss the future, you don't just book some random hotel conference room, right? You need an environment that actually mirrors the profound purpose of the gathering. So let's explore how perfectly the DNA of this venue aligns with the immense goals of the Assembly itself. Okay, let's kick things off with a really vital question that frames this whole historic gathering. Where exactly will the future direction of the Church in Eastern Africa actually be charted out? Because when you're talking about an assembly of this magnitude, one that's going to impact millions of people across multiple nations, the physical environment absolutely sets the tone. You need a space that actively inspires forward thinking, not just a room with enough chairs and a decent sound system. We know from environmental psychology that the spaces we inhabit directly influence how we think, how we connect, and how we collaborate. So if you're tasking regional leaders with solving complex social and spiritual challenges, putting them in an environment that is steeped in learning, history, and active community, well, that makes a massive difference. The venue actually becomes this silent, powerful participant in the dialogue. So, mark your calendars. The exact timeline for this monumental event is a one-week period from July 19th to the 26th in 2026. For those 7 days, CUS campus in Nairobi transforms into the absolute, undisputed central meeting place for the Catholic Church across the entire region. And honestly, it's a fascinating choice because Nairobi itself is this incredibly bustling hub of culture and innovation. People often affectionately call it the Silicon Savannah. It's a vibrant city where deeply rooted traditions are constantly intersecting with rapid, modern advancement. What a perfect backdrop for an assembly looking toward the future, right? You get the vibrant electric energy of the Kenyan capital just buzzing in the background, while still maintaining the highly focused contemplative space of the university campus. Now, the selection of CUEA wasn't just a matter of convenience, it was a matter of really deep heritage. This university's roots were planted directly by the regional bishops themselves to foster Catholic higher education. They literally built it. It wasn't designed just to, hand out degrees and shuffle students out the door. From its very inception, it has served as an active, thriving hub for theological formation, dedicated research, and crucial leadership development. It's an entire ecosystem designed from the ground up to nurture the region's intellectual and spiritual growth. So in a way, it is quite literally the bishops returning to a home they built. It's an institution whose very DNA is programmed to support the exact kind of heavy lifting and strategic thinking that a plenary assembly demands. And because of that rich heritage, CUEA is just the most fitting venue imaginable. They aren't educating students in some academic vacuum. They are actively forming competent professionals who are deeply, fundamentally grounded in Christian values. Imagine for a second being a delegate arriving at this event. You aren't stepping into a sterile, rented corporate center where, a tech sales kickoff was held the day before. No, you are stepping onto a living, breathing campus whose day-to-day operation is fundamentally aligned with the exact goals you are there to discuss. You're surrounded by students and faculty who are actively living out the mission of the Church through their studies and their professional development. That kind of surrounding energy is completely palpable, and it's going to be incredibly motivating for all the leaders attending. There's this fantastic quote that brilliantly illustrates the why behind this venue choice. The university is exactly what it claims to be, a place where faith and knowledge meet face to face. Often in our modern world, we kind of tend to put academic rigor in one box and spiritual depth in another, right? We treat them as if they're these competing forces. But at CUEA, they provide this really unique atmosphere where those two elements do not compete. Rather, they completely elevate one another. Think about it. When faith informs knowledge, you get ethical innovation. And when knowledge informs faith, you get practical, grounded solutions to real-world problems. That is the exact academic spirit the assembly needs to thrive. The leaders aren't just flying in to philosophize. They need tangible, working knowledge to address the everyday realities facing their communities. This dynamic creates a really distinct, powerful environment for preparing future leaders. It's a very intentional 1-2-3 progression. First, faith and knowledge intersect. Second, because of that unique intersection, visionary leaders are formed. And finally, those leaders are sent out to serve their communities with profound integrity and compassion. The delegates in 2026 will be immersed in this exact philosophy, providing the absolute perfect psychological backdrop for their own high-stakes planning. If the core goal of the Assembly is to figure out how to best serve Eastern Africa in the coming decades, well, being surrounded by an institution that executes that mission daily is incredibly inspiring. It essentially serves as a real-time working model of what the Church is hoping to achieve on a much larger scale. When you stop and consider the sheer scale of the event, you quickly realize why such a robust, dynamic venue is completely necessary. For 1 week, the university will open its doors to an incredibly vast and diverse group. We are talking about bishops, priests, and religious men and women right alongside the lay faithful, enthusiastic youth delegates, and highly specialized experts. It is a vibrant, living cross-section of the entire Eastern African Church, all coming together under one single roof. Organizing an event with this many moving parts is quite literally like organizing a small temporary city. You absolutely need a venue with a heavy-duty infrastructure to support huge plenary sessions, intimate breakout groups, quiet spaces for reflection, plus the logistical capacity to house and feed a massive influx of participants. But what exactly happens when all these diverse minds actually meet? Well, they are uniting to undertake 3 fundamental actions: to pray, to reflect, and to discern together. This right here is what distinctly separates an ecclesial assembly from your standard corporate summit or political convention. They aren't just sitting around in boardrooms voting on policy or debating bylaws. They are actively engaging in a collaborative, deeply spiritual process to discern a shared path forward for the region's future. The prayer grounds the discussions, the reflection allows them to look honestly at the current realities and tough challenges, and discerning together? That means setting aside individual egos to find a collective, unified direction. It's a heavy, deeply consequential process, and it requires an immense amount of focus and vulnerability. Now, of course, preparing for an influx of this many people is an immense logistical and spiritual undertaking. Even right now, as we draw closer to the opening of the Assembly, there's a strong call for the wider community to pray for everyone working tirelessly behind the scenes to welcome these delegates. It's a great reminder that the hard work begins long before anyone actually packs a bag for Nairobi in 2026. The preparation itself requires our collective support. Whether you're actively involved in the church or just someone who is fascinated by how massive international events manage to come together, it's super easy to appreciate the staggering amount of human effort required here. The organizers, the volunteers, the university staff, they are the unsung foundation making this entire historic gathering possible. The driving energy of this gathering is beautifully summarized in its digital footprint, too. We're seeing campaigns forming around hashtags like AMECEA, AMECEA 21st Plenary, and Voice of the Bishops. But I really want to draw your attention specifically to that last key focus area, AMECEA for the youth. This places a massive, incredibly inspiring emphasis on the next generation. It signals that the youth are not just an afterthought or a footnote, but a central pillar of these upcoming 2026 discussions. In a rapidly changing world, addressing the unique challenges, hopes, and innovations of young people is absolutely critical for any institution looking toward the future. By anchoring the Assembly's digital presence with this specific focus, it sends a crystal clear message about whose future is truly being discussed and prioritized. As CUEA officially prepares its campus and the 21st AMECEA Plenary Assembly really begins to take shape, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought regarding the long-term impact of this historic meeting. When the doors finally close and that intense week of prayer and discernment ends, how exactly will the decisions made in Nairobi, that very place where faith and knowledge meet, ripple out to shape the future of the youth and society across Eastern Africa? It's a monumental undertaking for sure, and the outcomes will undoubtedly be felt for generations to come. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and definitely keep that crucial question in mind as we look toward July 2026.